Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smack Raw podcast.
I'm like, okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
Everyone, welcome to the Smacked Raw podcast, exclusive recap show of WrestlingNewsWorld.com and found right here at YouTube.com/Smacked Raw podcast and everywhere else you find your podcast at, except apparently Pornhub, where Matt Ritter's at. But we'll break those grounds here sooner or later. We are your dejected host. I am Kyle, the Kai Tai Show. You see me way too often on this show. Flanking me to my left, Mr. RN from over at NXT. RN, what a show to pick a comeback for.
Yeah, it is. That's how my luck has been this month. And 2020, my first SmackDown show back, it was literally probably one of the top 5 worst wrestling shows I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh man, it's up there, man. This is. I mean, we'll get into it. I don't want you guys to turn away like fast, man. We'll try to make it entertaining, dunking on this turd sandwich. Yeah, man. If this is your first time joining us, thank you very much for listening. If you're on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button to help out the show. If you're on listening to us on the audio realm of things on the podcast, make sure to I think you download and leave a rating. I'm not really familiar with all this stuff. And of course, if you are watching us live, please feel free to chat, troll, roast us in the chat so we have something to talk about outside of at least this week's show. And we'll go ahead and respond to your messages. Matt Ritter's already telling us not to invade his territory. But yeah, man, we're here to talk SmackDown. Oh, before we get into that, actually, we had actually a really fun time recording an episode. If you didn't tune into it live yesterday, we recorded our second episode of Unpopular Wrestling Opinions, which looks like, if everything's going good, is going to be our Thursday show. So if you missed it, check it out next Thursday. It featured Thomas, who was on the first episode from WrestlingNewsWorld.com, and then professional wrestler LSG joined myself and RN, and we had a bunch of fun dunking on all these unpopular wrestling opinion tweets. And yeah, it was fun, man. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like you and Thomas kind of stole the show from LSG. You know, he was kind of our guest. And that man, he couldn't get 2 words in, but his audio was really quiet, man. He didn't stand a chance over you and Thomas, man.
That was another thing too. Like, I should have known, because sometimes he would be talking, but I couldn't hear him, and then I'd look over and I'd try and shut up and let him go, but nothing was coming through. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. I should have just started muting you guys. I mean, fuck, we have the hashtag MuteRN. Perfect time to exercise that right. And you got to turn your TV down, my friend. You got to turn that TV down.
I don't have anything on.
Oh, I'm just referring to the show.
Oh, yeah. Wait till 24 hours later.
Watch it, man. What were you watching? What do you have playing in the back?
I have no fucking idea. It was just whatever was on.
If you guys can determine what RN was watching in the background, I'll send y'all a sticker pack on when we upload the show next week. Matt Ritter's happy that on the show he did not get yeeted. I'll make it happen, Matt. I'll make it happen. All right, man. Let's get into the show. It feels obligatory, but I'm gonna ask you, RN, just to humor me. Go ahead and rate the show. Let's give it a letter grade.
I'd say F-.
Can you get an F-?
If I was a teacher, I'd give F-, and this would be one of the assignments that would get it.
Not only did you fail,
trash.
You failed super hard.
This would be like turning in a paper with just your name on it.
Yeah, man, and you misspelt it.
And you misspelled your name, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I ain't gonna lie. Okay, so there was 2 things I was into, and it metaphorically is kind of like a turd sandwich, because I was into the opening, which would be the top layer of bread, and then I was into the closing segment, which is the bottom layer of bread, and then everything else was the turd center. Yeah, man. This is the quintessential filler episode. Almost nothing got forward story wise, but we did get got a couple things. Before we get into it, what are they saying in the chat? RN can't help himself. He is a verbal ball hog. Should call him Steph Curry.
Facts.
That's actually pretty
Listen,
good.
I can't help that I overpower you bitches. Y'all need to step up. Say it with your chest.
Yeah.
That ain't my fault.
I reached out to LSG. I was like, hey man, I know it's kind of late to promote the July 11th show, which, by the way, you guys, that's the last thing I'll plug. Tomorrow night, Synergy Pro Wrestling putting on a hell of a pay-per-view. We've been pushing it now for the last several months. It's only going to be like $13, $14 on the FITE app. All the proceeds going to the American Nurses Foundation. Watch pro wrestling. It's for a good cause. Let's all have fun. It starts at, I think, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Please tune in. And then also, we're going to be recapping the show. I don't know if we're going to recap it instantly. I might take a day. But we're also gonna launch an extra episode to recap it and see, try to shine some light on these indie wrestlers, man. I'm actually very excited for this. But yeah, I did tell him, I was like, hey man, look, last night didn't go the best. Couldn't really hear you. RN and Thomas kind of just ran with the shit, and I was like, but hopefully you'll come back on the show another time, and we'll do something else, man, and get you in there more. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about what we kicked off SmackDown with. Episode of Miz TV. Miz and Morrison, I mean, they're always going to be funny, man. They've always got good chemistry on air. Morrison, I think you say it, RN. Morrison is like hot garbage by himself on the mic. But when you pair him with The Miz, it's just like peanut butter and jelly. They go together so well.
And even this was corny as shit to me, but I mean, their chemistry and just them bouncing off of each other, like, it always saves it at the end. Like, because the dancing and shit, like the intro before they brought Jeff Hardy out, that shit was corny as shit. And then them dancing and stuff.
Dude, there's such dad jokes.
Yeah, it's literally.
They thrive with the dad jokes. They said Jeff Hardy taught us all how to like whip and nay-nay. And
ain't nobody did that. Ain't nobody did that shit in like 10 years, bro.
I'm sorry, man. Jeff Hardy was doing those dances before those dances.
Those dances.
Anyways, Jeff comes out. He's the guest. It's a constant troll fest from Miz and Morrison. They end up running a highlight of Jeff Hardy getting beat at Backlash and then getting mocked last week on SmackDown, and beating up the bartender / like busboy waiter.
/ local indie wrestler.
Yeah. Although the kid's got a good look. I bet he's going to be one of those guys 10 years from now. They're going to be like, yeah, he was on Miz TV. He's got a really good look. Through the mocking of Jeff Hardy, Jeff does give kind of like an impassioned speech. I'm not going to lie. Like, if they can stick to this without ruining it, because Jeff really came across as genuine. For moments, it really spoke to me. Jeff wants to be a role model, a beacon for people struggling with addiction, and they want to see Jeff. He wants to be the guy that you're looking at going through the struggle, inspiring you to go through the struggle with him. And that did speak to me. I thought that was genuine. Jeff, at times, I thought was legitimately crying. He looked uncomfortable out there.
And that's the part that I'm not comfortable with. Like,
yeah.
I know what he wants to do, and I get it, and I like, of all this shit, no matter how I feel about him, like, that part of it is dope, but he's had so many slip-ups, and the fact that he was, like, visibly shook by it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he was ready, and I think it's still too raw and too soon to push this for him.
It does strike me as very raw to him. Like, that's the thing, is he doesn't strike me as, like, this isn't, like, I mean, granted, it is all an act, it's all scripted, but I mean, the dude really looks like he's feeling what he's pushing out there.
And I believe when he said that he doesn't want to let the fans down again. Like, I believe that, but that's what every recovering addict says to their friends and loved ones. You know what I'm saying?
man.
And
It's
I think it was too raw. It got too close. I wish they had stuck with the in jail shit and Sheamus framing them. Like I wish they had stuck with more towards the soap opera stuff than actually like digging into
the
real core of this.
The addiction.
Because I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it at all. Like it would be different if he didn't have this many issues and he was just kind of like maybe a once or twice got a DUI, but he's been having these problems his entire adult life that we've known him and that he's been on the stream. Like to me it felt cringy. Like, and I know that's not what they were going for. They wanted that like heartwarming shit, but to me it's just like I didn't want to watch.
I hope the payoff is worth it. Oh, Matt Rambo's in the chat. Hey man, Matt Rambo's a longtime friend of my younger brother. I've known Rambo, Jesus, since he was like a little kid, man. Probably going on like 20 years. But yeah, no, it's rough. Like I said, they have to, at this point, they're so deep in, you got to see it through. So I'm hoping that the payoff is good. I'm hoping that we get a closing shot of Jeff Hardy vanquishing Sheamus and he's joined by his like wife and loved ones. You know what I mean? And they support him. Not just so much of him rising by himself, but he has the support of his family and peers and stuff. And hopefully they can turn it around. Matt Ritter says, doesn't bother me. It's a TV show. Yeah, see, that's the other side of the coin. Anyways, getting back to the segment, Miz Morrison talk about how Jeff Hardy, like, he moved them, and they say, like, you know, you need to take on Sheamus again. You need to go ahead and you need to come out of this with a victory, and you should do it on your home turf. And so they're leading you to believe it's going to be like a ladder match. And then they swerve you and they say it's a bar fight to kind of mock Jeff even more. Which that's God damn it, that is kind of tasteless. But so it's unveiled. Jeff Hardy, he accepts. He'll face Sheamus in a bar fight. And afterwards, Jeff Hardy's had enough of the mocking too. He attacks both Miz and Morrison, and then we get a match between him and the Miz, which ended up being a good match. And you know what it made me realize after talking to LSG last night is LSG's comments about guys being too risky and daring, you know, and damaging their body. I took a moment to watch Miz's style, and I was like, you know what, Miz fucking understands what he's doing.
Yeah, he's gonna wrestle till he's like 60.
Yeah,
like, legit.
He does wrestle in a style that puts him in no danger, and he accents like his character work and stuff. And so I actually kind of like sat back and appreciated the Miz a little bit more after the insight I got from LSG last night. So I thought that was pretty neat. Jeff Hardy had to fend off Morrison during the match, and Sheamus came in via video. Jeff, for once, a babyface didn't get overly distracted, and Jeff was actually able to roll up the Miz for the victory and then got the hell out of the ring, which is absolutely what should have happened. Jeff Hardy needs to keep winning.
That was the only part of the match I didn't like was the roll up. That roll up was trash, and Miz was just flopping there, man. Like they could at least did the 24/7 roll up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that roll up, if you don't pull the trunks with that roll up, it just looks like the guy could easily jump up for a 2 count, like, but he just stood there flopping around like he was making a snow angel or something. But other than that, it was a decent match for sure.
Yeah. Matt Ritter says that was his first experience with LSG, and he was actually very likable, which is funny because all the video I've been watching about LSG is he plays a detestable heel.
Yes, terrible heel.
Yeah, he plays a terrible fucking heel, man. You should see the feud he had back in January. Like smashed this dude with a chair and then like choked his house unconscious in front of fans. It was some mean shit, man. What do we have after this? Oh yeah, we had for probably the 47th time in the last 2 months, Lexa Bliss and Nikki Cross took on Sasha Banks and Bayley. They got the early jump before the match. This wasn't even title, right? This was just
I think it was just
animosity, you know.
Yeah.
We've seen, I mean, hey man,
I've seen these so much they just blended together like
man. We don't mean to yawn on air, bro, but like, is anybody still into this feud? I gotta know. Is anybody sitting here? You know, it's just filler matches to get Nikki to Bayley, That's all we're working towards is just filling time to get Nikki there, and that's pretty much it. And unfortunately, WWE made the unwise decision to do 2 matches in a row via roll-up again, because that's how the match ended. Was Nikki Cross, or no, Bayley rolled up Nikki Cross, excuse me, and attempted to hold the ropes to get the victory. I did hear one little tidbit though during this match. I want to say it was Corey Graves, but it could have been Michael Cole. But talked about how Bayley, Sasha Banks has always been the standard bearer in the women's division and stuff. But over the last several months, Bayley has come into her own and, said it very loudly and has eclipsed Sasha Banks. Do you agree that Bayley has eclipsed Sasha?
Fuck no.
No?
No, and I think that them playing off each other both as heels has made Bayley, I think it stepped her game up for sure. But to me, I think Sasha is, I think she's been the MVP the last couple months and stuff, and like bouncing around the different matches, her eating Bayley shit, taking matches that Bayley set up for her and everything. Like, I think if they play this right and we get fans back more towards the end of the year, I think they could get Sasha into having a year like Becky, and she takes over for where Becky left off if they play their cards right.
But Sasha doesn't play a good face, man.
And she doesn't necessarily have to be a face, but I mean,
yeah,
she
Becky
could be.
Becky didn't play like a straight face either.
No, she was like a tweener, which Sasha could. I think she'd be better at that than being as a face because she's too confident. She's got too much swag. Yeah. She's just too out there to be a decent face, which is how I feel about Charlotte as well.
She's not a plucky underdog. You know what I mean?
No. Even though she's probably the best seller of the entire women's division, in my eyes. But
she can scorpion like hell, bro. Like,
she kills herself. Oh my God. But I think if they played this right, they could get a long run out of her and a substantial run out and a mainstream run out of her, not just a nice run within the company. Yeah.
No, I agree. I just right now, I think I like that they're letting and just Bayley go ahead and take the reins, and we're getting a lot more focus on her because she's killed it. It's paid off immensely. Yeah. Bayley's character work has been nothing but spectacular these last several months, man. And her and Sasha Banks and Asuka and a lot of the women have just risen to like MVPs. Like some people are out there saying that the women's division has been the highlight of this pandemic era. So
I think with my thing is too, like we've talked about on the NXT show a couple times, but I don't think that they should worry about the breakup with them. Why I don't understand why they can't ride this 2-woman power trip out. Like we didn't get to see it with Stone Cold and Triple H because Triple H ended up getting injured. We didn't get to see a run of it, but my thing is they're best friends in real life. Now you have them aligned as best friends on the program. Let's ride this out as much as you can and them being on all the shows too gives the other women and these shitty, how they have everything split up is kind of shitty, but at least you have them on all the shows giving those other women matches and stuff like that. Like I think they should ride this out until we're back to normal with real crowds and stuff, because I don't think the payoff with them breaking up finally, especially now that they've been together this long, I don't think the payoff would be that good.
Yeah.
In a performance center pay-per-view, you know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I agree with you. A live audience is always going to make for a better payoff.
Thanks.
Yeah, man, I can see that. Next up, we got a replay of the Money in the Bank match between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. They didn't add anything extra to this. They literally provided filler during a filler episode.
What the hell? What was the point in this? I'm still
kill time.
I was like, yeah,
they're running low, man. They got 30 people, 40 people out with COVID right now. You know what I mean? They are skeleton crew. What if it's Sheamus has COVID and that's why his ass is at home recording the shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess my thing is if you know that and that's the case, instead of playing an old match, how about instead of doing that stupid ass? Well, we'll get there, but you could have did two more women's matches and let them go at it to take up that time. That match wasn't dope when it first happened. Nobody was clamoring for that match when it first happened. Why the hell would you replay it? There's plenty of other matches you could have replayed. Why that one?
Yeah, I mean, you easily could have gone into, say, like, you could have shown off, like, Nikki Cross and Asuka in their last woman standing match. Because that was the last time, like, well, not the last time, but that was, like, a huge time that Nikki was trying to go after a women's title. Yeah, you could have easily tried to highlight someone else on the show. Instead of just like, oh, well, Braun's in a world title match. Let's show the last Braun match and Bray match because it's the most relevant. And it's like, yeah, man, like you're right. Like, I was waiting for that match like the whole evening so I could go and do other shit. I'm like, I don't have to take notes here. I can go take a piss, put my kids to bed, you know.
It was a long ass match. It was like 30, 40 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was by design though. It was by design.
Terrible design.
Yeah. Poor backstage interviewer Sarah, man. I don't know how this woman was able to get through this goddamn New Day promo. You think Big E lives to try and just break everyone around him, to get everyone to break character?
Literally, that's probably his single joy in life is
just trying to
see who I can get to break.
You see, you saw the one where he snuck up on Alexa Bliss the other week, like a week or like a month ago, and they were going into commercial, and him and Kofi snuck up on Alexa Bliss, and he jumped her, and he legitimately jumped her. Like, she broke character clearly as they cut to commercial. This shit was hilarious. Yeah, and then, hey, you know, when I tune into wrestling, you know what I really want to see? Fucking karaoke, man.
This was some diva era bullshit, bro.
Really
this pissed me off so bad. Like, besides Dana Brooks, who is just, to me, just ass of the ass.
Dana was charming, man. Dana was charming. I like.
Yeah, doing in diva era shit, not in the women's revolution.
I know.
But the other three women, this was so disrespectful to them, bro. Like.
So I'll say this: if there's any light I can shine on it, Naomi and Lacey Evans actually can sing a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna. They both of them actually did sound pretty damn good. Lacey probably sound better than Naomi if I'm keeping it 100. Shit.
And then is it Jey Uso that's out there, or was that Jimmy?
That was the one she's not married to.
The one she's not married to. Let's just say Jey Uso, and I'll correct myself later if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
He sounds like he could DJ for a strip club.
Yeah, absolutely. And they both got that James Conner fucking haircut from Pittsburgh, like.
Oh Jesus.
With the mullet, the black mullet.
I don't understand the reference, but I get it. I'll believe you. Yeah, dude, it was just stand all your women who were not involved in anything in a line and make them sing. It was pretty bad. Lacey Evans, like I said, Lacey Evans was like okay. She sang "Alone with My Baby Tonight," Jeff Jarrett's song.
That song is fire still to this day.
Matt Ritter saying, "Stop trying to dress up that shit sandwich." I'm sorry, Matt.
And even the match afterwards was some diva era. They kicked off their heels and rolled around in the ring. Then had to pull apart. Like, this was some straight up 2005, 2006. All we needed was King or somebody in the background yelling puppies and shit. And it would have been
don't say that.
Fucking hot tub time machine shit, bro. Like, this was so fucking ass. Like, I don't even know. But Bruce Pritchard, like, get your shit together, bro.
Yeah. Out of all the praise we give Bruce over on Raw, this undoes a lot of it. So here's my question. Lacey turned heel. Lacey's been face, right, for like the last forever. Was this really her heel turn? Being like sour grapes over losing a fucking karaoke contest?
This I mean, just throw this whole fucking episode in there.
I don't know.
This is a dumpster fire.
It was, man. Matt Rambo says karaoke. They did that. He's like, I'm a little behind. That's why I watched SmackDown. Matt, this was not an episode to watch. I'll tell you, man.
You did not miss anything, bro.
Go back this week. If you don't have the network, there's a couple websites I'm sure you could find. Go back. It's probably on Hulu. Watch Great American Bash Night 2. If you haven't watched wrestling in a while, watch that shit. That's what killed it this week. So anyways, if there was got to push forward with the segment. Lacey, Naomi wins the karaoke contest via fan approval. Jesus, I never thought I'd have to say this. And Lacey, being a sore loser, attacks Naomi. We get a match. It's quickly tossed out though when Lacey shoves Tamina, and then the other women, they jump in, and we just get a big pull apart brawl, like you said, and then Lacey scurries off. Like,
they were all fighting Lacey. Did you notice that? Like,
yeah,
Dana Brooke attacked her, then Tamina came in, attacked Dana Brooke, threw her out, then she started hitting. I'm like, what is going on here? Like,
oh no. Like I said, the shittiest part of this was, I think this was meant to be a heel turn for fucking Lacey Evans, and if that's the case, that is a fucking bummer, man. That is a waste of character transition. Because Lacey, yeah, like, I mean, cool, I like her as a heel, but like, dude, really? Like, that's how it went down. It was a karaoke contest that fucking brought her back to the dark side. Come on, man.
We fucking got Naomi back finally. If you were gonna do that anyway, why didn't they just have Naomi come out, do a promo, and have her attack her?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It's like, you named it as Bruce Pritchard, man. It's that Bruce Pritchard shit. Yo, we're barely gonna break a half hour. I ain't gonna lie to you. AJ Styles backstage via interview is informed that he will be facing Matt Riddle next week. Okay, so right there, that redeems a lot of the show. Yeah. Like, now this show is done. I mean, there's no turning back on this show. But SmackDown easily can redeem itself fucking next week with that match. Matt Riddle taking on AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. Fucking yes.
AJ's promo is the best thing about this show.
Yeah? Yeah, no, I mean,
that's how shitty this show was. AJ Styles 2-minute promo backstage was the best part of this show.
It's like, hey man, I missed SmackDown. What should I tune in and watch? Well, watch AJ's backstage interview.
That's literally it.
Fucking hell, man. Yeah.
Eek.
You think Matt Ritter gets he gets excited when he sees a bunch of people tweeting about him, but then he just realizes it's a typo?
No, he does not. He absolutely hates it. He hates Matt Riddle. He hates.
Like, Matt Ritter's badass, and he looks at it, and they're like posting pictures of Riddle, and they're like, "Oh fuck, these illiterate bastards."
Yeah.
There's a lot of Matts in the chat. I just realized we're talking about Matt Riddle while we have Matt Ritter and Matt Rambo.
Bunch of Matt R's.
A bunch of Matt R's. This is fucking weird. All right, and then last up, we got the tag team championship match between Cesaro and Nakamura taking on the New Day. When you got into it, we had about 20 minutes, and I was like, okay, so they knew they were going to have a shit show, so they're going to go out with a high on this match.
Yeah.
But I called this last week. I said, because they tried to pull a table out very briefly, and I called it. I think I shot the show with Kevin. And I was like, I think they're setting up for a table match because we didn't have many stipulation matches at Extreme Rules by this point. And sure enough, that's what happened. The match is going really good, but animosity gets the best of them. They brawl. The match gets tossed out. The New Day end up getting beat down, and they set a table up, Nakamura and Cesaro do. In the middle of the ring, they lay out Big E on it, and then they end up powerbombing Kofi through Big E. I think it's almost a lock here. We're going to have a tag team title match at Extreme Rules via table match, which, fuck yes. As long as you do it the traditional way, where both members have to go through tables. Like,
they haven't done that in a long time, though.
I know, man, but that was the best, like the Dudley Boys table rule style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had to get all the members through. That way you got long fucking matches and you got multiple payoffs. Because if you have just two tag teams, you could have 3 table spots. Yeah, you could get one member through 2 tables, and then the third person, bam, you got 3 table spots.
Well, this show proved tonight that logic is not on their side, so...
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and that powerbomb was pretty fucking dope, though. It was like a last ride off the top rope. Like,
yeah.
I mean, Kofi touched the ceiling damn near. Like, he was
like I filled out the note before the spot even happened. I was like, oh, Cesaro splashed through Big E, and then I was like, oh shit, I gotta back up. They're about to powerbomb Kofi through him.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I love their chemistry together too. Like I said, I mean, I wish Nakamura could actually like go back and forth with him, and it's not just all put on Cesaro, because I don't think that that's one of his strong points. But their chemistry inside the ring is off the fucking charts.
One thing that caught my eye was Cesaro and Big E teeing off on each other. I was like, that seems like a really good fucking combination.
Well, they actually love him. Like, they did a Cesaro Appreciation Day on their podcast, where they literally just did like an hour and a half of jerking him off pretty much.
That's fucking awesome. I have yet to check out their podcast. I catch clips, like sound bites of it, but I'm a petty asshole. I don't want to. I run a podcast. You know, all I'm gonna do is be like, why isn't my shit as awesome as yours, man? I'm just petty. But yeah, that's SmackDown. That's SmackDown in a bunch, man. So you, yeah, let's just fucking clip it, man. That's a show. I mean, man.
I don't even know. Like, I was wondering, like, what could we do as filler? But there's literally not even.
No, you know what we can do is we'll go ahead and close the episode, and we'll go ahead and plug some stuff to the guys that are in the chat. You know, we'll hang out with them for a little bit afterwards. But yeah, so let's wrap it up. Last thing before we go, watching this, please, like I said, if you're watching this here Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, tune in tonight, FITE TV, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, Synergy Pro Wrestling pay-per-view. Once again, it's only like $13, $14. There's a bunch of shit on there. We're sponsoring the cinematic match between Frightmare and Pratt. That's going to be dope as fuck. I've heard some snippets of it, man, and it looks badass, man. But please tune in, watch that pay-per-view. Proceeds are going to American Nurses Foundation. It's going to be for a good cause. And then while you're at it, if you're on YouTube, man, go over to Mean Jelly Bean Productions, man. Subscribe to those guys, man. RN here and Adam put out some funny-ass shit. Watch Sandwiches and HJs. That shit'll get you, bro. I promise you.
The best is when I'm go to, like, I coach football and shit, so, like, when I go to games and it'll be, like, soccer moms and football moms with their Karen haircuts and their tumblers and shit, and they'll come up and say they love my videos.
That's awesome.
I'm like, thank you. Keep walking.
All right, you guys. Make sure, like I said, you tune in later on next week on Popular Opinion episode. But until then, you guys, please have a good one.
Peace.